solely by making a change to the sheriff's policy. The sheriff's policy is very, very different from the Greensboro City Police Department policy. What our recommendations were is that within the city limits, that the Guilford County Sheriff follow the Greensboro Police Department policy. Greensboro Police know very well our city, how the roads intersect, and they have thought through a policy of when to chase and when not to chase and how to chase, and they have implemented that. And what we would ask is that on the same stretch of Battleground, that the Guilford County Sheriff's Department follow the city policy. The other thing we asked was that they consider a maximum speed limit for these chases. If they're gonna have a chase outside the city limits and they don't wanna follow the well thought out Greensboro Police Department policy, that they cap their chase at 100 miles an hour. We learned this morning for the first time that the officer in this case was actually chasing at 128 miles an hour down Battleground on the night.
So in your meeting this morning, how were your recommendations received?
The attorneys for the Guilford County Sheriff said that they could not commit at this time to any changes. They said that they were going to have a meeting with all the captains and the command staff and get back to us. We're hopeful and optimistic that they mean that they're interested in positive change. That's what these families are interested in. They want to see positive change so that this doesn't happen to somebody else's child.
Just correct me, what are the big differences between these two policies?
Well, under the Greensboro Police Department policy, that they can only chase if there's a violent situation, a serious crime involving violence. Not like what happened here. Here you had a reported stolen vehicle that turns out wasn't stolen. As often happens with reported stolen vehicles, there was a miscommunication. We've now learned that the daughter of the owner of the vehicle had loaned this person this car and that they were driving it with the daughter's permission. Another fact we learned this morning for the first time was that the Greensboro Police Department actually apprehended this exact car 2 weeks earlier. That they saw that the car was stolen, they pulled the car over, and the car fled. And the Greensboro Police Department made the wise decision to not chase. They did not chase this car, and as a result, no one died. Now, and there was no ensuing crime spree, or violence, or hostages. It was just a reported stolen car that turned out not to be stolen. And so, those are two pretty extreme differences. In addition, if you are going to chase, you have to factor in the environment that you're in. Saturday evening on Battleground, on the way into town, through a construction zone, is no place to be going 128 miles an hour. Something bad was going to happen. It just so happens that the guy leaving the scene hit my clients. It could have been anyone else's child. It could have been an officer that was hurt. We just need to slow down and do the correct things. And we're optimistic that the sheriff will work with us. He hasn't said no yet, so we're going to follow up, and that's where we are.
You also saw the dash cam footage this morning, is that correct? And
Yes.
what did you learn from that? What did you see? I guess describe it for us.
Well, it was it was what you would expect to see on Battleground. It was a busy Saturday night. There's a construction area where they're putting in the loop out there, and and all of this cannot take away from how horrible it was that this guy fled the scene. This guy should have stopped. We're not saying that at all, but we also have to be smart as a community in how we chase. And what we saw was an officer going up to 128 miles an hour through a construction zone on Battleground on a Saturday night, and the results are predictable. And my clients have lost their children, and they don't want to see that happen to anybody else.
Flashing lights, siren on, is that what you saw?
They were both on, yes.
Okay.
You have been in contact with the victims' families. What do they have to say about all this, and what do they want to see happen now?
Well, I represent the victims' families, and they want to see change. They want to have this incident be starter where we can have a discussion as a community about where the line is, when we chase and how we chase. That line is very debatable, and officers need to be given extreme deference. But 128 miles an hour on Battleground is way over the line.
And how exactly did you learn that? Is that something the sheriff's office?
It's on the dash cam video. I mean, on the video itself, it shows the exact speed as he continues to speed up as he's headed into downtown on Battleground. And it gets up to 128 miles an hour. For a significant stretch, it's over 120 miles an hour, but the maximum speed he went before the wreck was 128. Who knows how fast the escaping driver was going at the time he made collision with our clients. The accident report says 130, but it could have been worse. It's not good. My clients want this to stop so that this doesn't happen to anybody else, not another officer, not somebody else's kids. And we want to work with the sheriff rather than against. And we're hopeful that he'll listen to our recommendations.
Any blame, any anger towards the sheriff department about how all this happened?
We're not interested in blame right now. We want to make change. It's not about blame. It happened. Nothing we can do will bring our clients back. They're dead. So that doesn't matter. What matters is that we get together as a community and have a discussion so that these two police departments can work together and have similar policies. What makes sense so that fewer people die. This isn't the first time somebody's died as a result of this. And if we don't stop it, it won't be the last. And no one wants to see that. And that's what our clients are interested in, fixing the problem.
I think I'm good.
Okay, you wanna go? You want everything else?
Do you have anything to add to that?
I can address the policies if you want.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
While you guys switch, so today you learned 28 miles,
128.
okay,
We saw it with our own eyes,
okay.
first time.
You also
Previously,
learned-
we'd read it was 100 miles an hour.
Okay.
There's a
Yeah.
big difference between 128 and
Do you
100,
have the?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
Also, you learned that the car wasn't actually stolen.
We
That was
learned
a
that from the
misunderstanding.
Greensboro Police Department, that it turns out that the car, while it had been reported stolen, that the daughter of the owner of the vehicle had actually given permission to this person to have the car. And the bigger fact that we learned today for the first time was that the Greensboro Police Department actually stopped this car 2 weeks to the day earlier, and the car fled, and the Greensboro Police followed their own policy and did not chase. And nothing bad happened. It wasn't a crime spree, it wasn't hostages like the sheriff said, nothing, it was a reported stolen car.
Was somebody from Greensboro Police at that meeting this morning, or is
We've
that?
met with them, Goad is his name, he's very forthcoming, G-O-A-D. He's doing the investigation, he's an active reconstructionist, he's been very, very honest and forthcoming and cooperative, and talks about his frustration with the Guilford County sheriffs having a different policy, in his view, a more dangerous policy. And that's what we wanna fix.